I introduced myself already, so we can start directly with what I wanted to tell you. Yes, if I ever need my AAD, I'll stop skydiving. This is something, it's not from me. I wouldn't say something like this, but this is something I heard a lot of times in my career from skydivers, mostly from the ones who knows how to skydive without an AAD. And as I was not a skydiver in the beginning of my career at Airtec, I was somehow confused, because actually my boss invented this device so that the people can stay in the sport, and not, if it's used, they stop. So I asked other people, why are you saying that? And I understand it from a certain point. If there are people who are thinking, if I'm not able to get down to earth with my head on and I can do this all by myself, then I should stop skydiving to save me and to save all the other people around. I understand that. But that was not the reason why we have an AAD. So, yeah, one moment. All the years I have been working for Airtec, we had so many people who are very happy that we are there and we saved their lives. And this impressed me very much. So I have I had a look in our safes and what they are talking about. So, yes. What are the most common reasons for Cypress fire? What do you think? Any idea? Okay. 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 So the most common reason is really it's altitude awareness. This is what I found out from the fires I see in our reports. I have listed a few cases. I will read through it. It's not, I have not remembered it in my head, so I will read through it. Yeah. Instructor-student situation. The student misses the altitude, goes into a spin, panics. Instructor tries too long to reach to the student, and Cypress of the student and the instructor are fired. This is one of the most common cases of a Cypress fire. Then a separation in a formation flight, so a big way, 60 way or something, I do not remember. A jumper let himself fall through. I do not know if that's the correct English, but I think you all know what I mean. Yeah, okay. Because other jumpers are nearby, and when the main canopy opens, the Cypress fires. Oh, again. No, I will get through this until I will find it. Okay, a skydiver with 80 jumps in the last 3 years completely loses the altitude awareness. He does not pull his main canopy and nothing else. The Cypress opens the reserve. And then, sometimes, it's the joy of having finally found each other in free fall, like shown in the video.
La puerta.
Yes, what can we learn from these mistakes? Any idea? Serious answers only. Yeah. I think that always reassure yourself about the altimeter. How high are you, really? Check, 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 check. This is one of the things you should do. I know there are a lot of people who think, I don't know an altimeter. I don't need one. Not I don't know one, but I don't need one because I know how high I am. But there, you know it. Really? You know how high you are? No, you are. Okay. Okay. Always reassure about the altimeter, about the altitude, actually. Do not rely on a ditter. It's good to have one, of course, and there are situations where you must rely on that. Because when you're in a formation flight or something, then you should, or you must rely. But you shouldn't. Check the altimeter. Then, I personally do check the altitudes on my way above. What I have to do on the, I'm pretty sure that everybody does that. But I see regularly people in the plane not doing this. And I think that's a good way to know what to do when you are under canopy. Then, yes, repetition of the skills. Every time you have, if you are between two flights or you need to wait or something else. And yeah, also the instructors should repeatedly point out that the altitude is being checked. Yeah. So what do you think is the second? Sorry. Good, yes, good. Yeah. Cutaway failures, not knowing the gear and its components. Okay. Skydiver with 56 jumps cuts away his main canopy after a malfunction. He's not able to locate his reserve handle. Cypres activates the reserve. And then I found another case, Skydiver with 60 jumps. Jumping a board rig. I think a lot of people are doing this. He experienced a hard pull. He tried to go for the reserve, but he didn't find the handle because it was located a little bit higher than on his own rig. He kept trying to find the handle. A skydiver attempted to pull his BOC pilot chute at 2,500 feet, but does not find it. He decides to pull his cutaway handle. The first and only attempt to find the reserve handle is negative. Skydiver was wearing a camera and was filming the DZ hangar, which became bigger and bigger. And again, I have a video there. And then we got a brand new report of a Cyprus fire, which I find very interesting because we see it regularly since we have the C mode. You know, everybody knows the C mode Cyprus. I wanted to read this too. It's a report of the Skydiver. I had an opening of the reserve. It's not showing there because it's really brand new. I had an opening of the reserve due to the effect of the Cypres and during the landing phase with my main parachute. I flew a 450, I don't know, degree, turn in synchronization with another skydiver. In the final phase, I was offset and continued my swoop by flying past him. At the exit of the turn, at about 2 meters, the Cypres fired and the freeback came out. A few seconds later, the main canopy dropped behind me but had no time to fill, so he had to double out while landing. As I lit out the canopy, I felt some turbulence due to the ejection of the freeback and reserve chute, which I tried to correct, then land properly. I landed about 30 meters further away than the freeback. The weather was beautiful, white, bright blue skies and a slight headwind. The air was cool and the ground was damp. There was no thermal turbulence. My experience is around 2,200 jumps. I do not feel that I have reached the working speed of the Cypres. The opening was when I had already flattened my glider and the direction of flight was horizontal. I generally fly a Leia 73 with a Cypres speed, but I have been jumping with it for a month and have completed 23 flights before the incident. The jumper was jumping with a harness from his friend, and the Cypres installed is a C mode. Do you have an idea what happened? Wrong setting, yes. It was set in expert, and he was thinking it's the speed of, I don't know what he was thinking, actually. Yeah. The Cypres installed is a C mode, but not set to speed, but to expert mode. The jumper was convinced he had not exceeded the expert speed. He thought he didn't exceed it because he's jumping it for quite a while. Unfortunately, the feeling is often deceiving. You can't estimate from below exactly how high someone has been or how fast. These are just impressions. It is like that. But we experience that some people are thinking they can do that. Yeah. Now I need to collect all my papers. I think that also from these, there are some things we can learn. Again, any idea from the audience? Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anybody?
I'm just stating the obvious, we're all human. It's like...
I know. This is why I'm standing here. I know that. Everybody knows that. Therefore, we do need to...
it's like almost a redundancy.
Learn the skills, and we should prevent anybody from having an incident, and yourself too, for sure. Therefore, you need to repeat everything you learn while you're skydiving as a student. This is what I think. I do not know. Okay, always check the equipment before you jump. Easy. Especially if it's borrowed or unknown equipment. Same for everything else. If you're flying flex or something, it is equipped on your harness. Then you should check prior if you can do everything with it. If you can reach your handles. Is everything there where you expect it? Then read the fucking manual. And not only of your AAD, especially of your AAD, of course, I'm here for Cypres, but from everything. Read the fucking manual. And if you don't understand anything, you can I'm pretty sure that you know someone who can explain it to you. If it's a trainer, instructor, experienced jumpers, I don't know why. And if you don't know who to ask, you can call the manufacturer. I get a lot of calls where some a skydiver is asking, can you help me? I cannot set my C mode from speed to expert. Can you help me? Of course I do. On the phone, I send emails, I send videos. This is what we do. We are there. This is what I do. I do not know if anybody else does this. To check where your handles are on the way to altitude, and also if there is a jump totally without any problems, I'm checking where are my handles. Where's my handle? Where's my handle? Because if in case there is a problem, your hand will know where to look at. I think that. And repeat the emergency procedures, even if you think you know them. I think everybody think they know them, but sometimes it's not the case. You must repeat it. So everything in skydiving is about repetition, I guess. Okay, and what else can turn into a malfunction? Or a problem, or a save, or you have seen it already, right? No. Yeah, of course. Unconscious or medical problems. Again, I have some cases here from our saves. Okay. On a 6-bay trekking dive, a skydiver is unconscious after collision. The Cypres initiates the reserve opening. He lands still unconscious in a tree. A skydiver exits a plane which is still climbing and hits a stabilizer. The skydiver is immediately unconscious and free falls until the Cypres fired. Woke up several minutes after the jump. Just to let you know, these are all real saves. We get the save report filled out as soon as, and get it sent over to us. And the people behind these stories agree that we show this to other people. An experienced skydiver dislocates his right shoulder in free fall. He thinks about his emergency procedures and comes to the conclusion that the Cypres is his last chance. It's a little bit like a stunt or something, I don't know. He made no attempts to pull the reserve with the left hand, and the Cypres fires.
Estoy bien. Sí. Sí. ¿Qué pasó?
No sé, iban los dos aturdidos para abajo, weón. ¿Voy ahí aturdido?
Sí. ¿Estoy bien?
No, estoy bien.
Nada más.
No,
¿Alguien me chocó?
el que no te chocó fuerte. El que no te chocó.
Yo perdí totalmente.
Sí. Siéntate, quédate tranquilo, siéntate.
Sí. Ayúdame a sentarme.
Sí, siéntate. Como se me cayó el pelo, weón.
Ayúdame a sentarme.
Sí, tranquilo. Espérate.
Eso fue, weón.
El que no te chocó fuerte.
¿Qué onda pasa?
¿Cómo estás? Está bien. Yo no sé qué fue el que no lo hice caer.
Sí.
¿Dónde
No,
cayó?
no lo vi, weón.
Oh, conche su madre, que se abrió abajo los dos paracaídas.
Sí, los Cypres. Qué bueno,
Pero-
¿qué onda?
Siéntate. Los dos se fueron de 6 brazos.
Sí.
Sí.
Pero es que no lo vi, weón. Yo seguí esta cúpula, ¿no?
Yo también, yo no sé dónde cayó el quema.
Claro, un
weón.
pencazo como aquí.
Sí, yo lo tengo acá. Yo arriba tuyo, ¿me viste cuando iba
¿Por qué
llegando?
llegó el que no así?
No
No
sé,
sé,
weón.
bueno, yo no vi nada, yo realmente vi
Se
el pencazo,
descontroló el que no cayó como saco, va para arriba tuyo.
La cagó.
Tenía un moretón grande, creo que tenemos que ir a la clínica.
¿Dónde está el moretón?
No, aquí, pero
No,
no, en
pero
serio. Es un moretón en camino.
Sí.
Pero estáis bien.
La cagó.
Yo creo que ahora que no.
¿Julio fue el que no?
La
Yo me
cagó
quedo
el
acá.
Cypres, weón. Como salva la vida el Cypres, weón.
¿Y tú que no, pues no voy a hacer nada arriba?
No, sentía que iba... Dijo, puta, ¿qué pasa?
Sí, ahí,
¿Qué-?"
pero sin conocimiento, así
Sí.
no voy a hacer nada.
Nada. No, habrá sido el golpe que nunca más supe nada.
Yo lo tengo acá.
Siento un dolor acá.
Dale, pero ya estoy bien.
Weón, la apertura fue, me imagino, ustedes quedaron locos.
¿Cuál la de usted?
Sí.
No, yo me quedé atrás, no lo seguí. Como caché que iban a estar todos abriendo juntos, me quedé lejito.
El Cypres, concha de tu madre, la cagada.
Yo el que no puta no lo vi, weón.
¿Qué no viste nada?
No, yo vi esta cúpula y seguí esta palanca y dije, ¿qué no había ahí?
¿Pero cómo fue?
Yo lo tengo.
¿Cómo fue?
Venías tú, yo iba llegando a ti, y de repente
Sí,
veo al
tú
que no,
venías ahí.
veo al que no así. Venías tú acá y veo al que no así. Y los vi darse vuelta al paso.
¿Y la cámara la cagué? ¿Por qué no alguien cayó muy mal?
No sé, bueno, es que no lo vi. Pero estamos dos buenos y ya fueron a ver al que no.
¿Y dónde estamos? La chucha.
Sí, estamos en el camino. ¿Lo viste usted?
¿Y me viste caer? ¿Cómo caía?
¿Acá?
No, cuando
Sí, te
caía.
vi venir dando vueltas y yo te empecé a seguir, pero como caché que venía Julio y César, preferí irme para no tener que abrir con tantos huevos juntos. Sí, caché que ya onda, algo tenía que abrirse, así que no...
Me pegó acá, weón.
Sí, te pegó así, de acá, sí.
Ah, me pegó así. ¿Y cómo venía plano?
No, si él yo no lo vi, yo venía cerca tuyo. Yo venía cerca tuyo y de repente veo que pasa una mancha blanca nomás.
Si tú venías de aquí, te tengo filmadísimo. Pero el que no tan... ¿Qué dijeron?
No sé.
¿El que no se veía que también iba descontrolado con Cypres?
Sí, también me iba dando vueltas, pero al que no lo vi que iba mirando más.
No, yo decía, ¿qué onda pasa acá? Empezando a recoger el sentido. Dije, ¿qué onda?
Ah, no, y ahí, pero como me
Totalmente inconsciente. Y cuando veo la reserva, vi la reserva y seguía girando, ¿eh? palo culiao ese, si me pegué contra ese palo más que nada.
Ah, vení, tú no manejaste nada.
No,
Y llegaste, caíste, ¿no?
sí. Chucha,
Ah,
¿dónde- ¿tengo
chúate.
sangre en algún lado?
Sí, sí, no, pero dale.
Poquitito.
Sí, sí, un ramión. Sí, tenía un moretón acá. Que este es el que sea. Hay que verlo. Aquí. Ese, sí, no te lo tenés mucho. Ahí.
¿Ahí?
Sí, ese ahí.
¿Aquí?
Sí,
Esto no me
aquí,
duele.
así está. Sí, el teléfono. Ya voy a empezar a recoger los paracaídas.
Please.
Julio llegó acá contigo
Sí,
y se fue al tiro para allá.
sí.
Entonces él sabe dónde cayó el keno.
Oh, me tiene que haber pegado muy fuerte.
No, si fue fuerte, fuerte.
Muy fuerte.
Voy a buscar el de César y el mío que están allá.
No te morís mucho. Qué heavy, weón. Cypres, compadre.
Siempre prendido.
Cypres, culiao. Yo creo que abrí de espalda. Ay, que quiero, me duele esto.
¿El hueso está ahí?
No, el hueso
Sí, sí,
no.
no. El dolor del golpe no.
Pego aquí.
Pero el hueso no tenéis nada.
No. Me la saqué barata, weón. ¿Y este loco cómo estará? ¿Se le abrió la reserva?
No, yo al que no lo vi, yo vi esta nomás y me quedé viendo esta reserva. No, al que no lo vi, no supe
Bueno,
hacer.
pero tú estás ahí al lado mío.
Yo
Tienes
sí
que haber
tengo
visto toda la
tengo
wea.
todo grabado.
¿Ah?
Yo tengo todo grabado a 10 metros.
¿Y de dónde apareció este weón?
De acá, yo
De
venía de
arriba,
acá,
ya.
yo venía acá,
Ya,
y vamos hacia allá.
ya.
Me parece aquí arriba, así.
Lateral.
Sí, de acá arriba hacia abajo. ¿En qué posición? No sé, yo vi la mancha blanca nomás cuando tocaron.
No quiero ir a ver esto porque puedo tener algo ahí interno, weón. Chucha, esa weá se la tengo, weón.
Ahí está.
La puta, weón. Quiero ni ver esa weá, loco, weón.
¿No?
No.
Mejor.
Tengo sangre.
¿De acá?
No. Sí tengo sangre.
Sí, la boca.
¿Venga ahí, loco?
Sí, tiene roto aquí. Un poquito. Pero no es un teléfono.
Estoy asustado de esto. No me duele tanto, pero estoy asustado.
¿De qué podéis tener adentro?
Sí. Que me venga a buscar un auto.
¿Ah? ¿Solo con esto?
No, que me venga a buscar. Puta,
No,
qué
sí,
raro
por
que no me...
favor.
Qué raro que no me quebró nada, weón. ¿Ah?
Sí, ese golpe no tiene que ser la...
La zorra como uno pierde el conocimiento, weón. Uno pierde el conocimiento, weón.
Estaba aquí, aquí. Se quedó
No,
aquí.
y el tobillo está aquí en esta mierda.
Arriba aterrizando.
Tenía mucha sed, como que me pegué contra ese árbol. Y ahí me tiró para abajo. Yo desperté como 5 metros arriba de este árbol.
¿En serio?
Sí.
Ah, o sea...
Nico. ¡Que no! ¿Estoy bien? Tranquilo. ¿Ok? Tranquilo.
Tírate espalda.
De espalda, espalda.
Acá. Sí, nosotros te sacamos el equipo, quédate tranquilo, ¿ya? Quédate tranquilo. ¿Estáis bien? ¿Estás respirando?
¿El Nico está bien?
Sí, el Nico está bien.
Chocaron.
No importa, quédate tranquilo. ¿Ambulancia?
No,
¿Ah?
llevémoslo nosotros.
¿Sí?
Más rápido.
Quédate tranquilo. Tranquilo. No te muevas, ¿Te vas a sacar el casco?
No, déjaselo puesto.
No.
Rucio, déjaselo puesto.
Está la antiparra hueando abajo. Sácalo. Vamos a sacar la antiparra. ¿Lo llamas tú?
Sí, al tiro.
¿Ahí los caballos?
No, tranquilo. Ni lo mueves, déjalo un
Sí,
tranquilo.
quiero sacar el arnés.
Échate para atrás. Que no, échate para atrás un segundo.
Cuidado con el cuello con la rama ahí. Quédate ahí, vamos a sacar.
Échate para atrás, no. Dale, afírmate en mí. Apóyate. Eso. Tranquilo, no pasa nada.
¿Estáis bien, compadre? ¿Estáis enterito? Relájate, ¿ya? ¿Estás respirando bien? Vale. ¿Usted cayó a los lados ahí?
Sí.
Hizo tiro los alambres allí los caballos, ¿no?
¿Ah?
Hizo tiro los alambres los caballos allí, ¿no? ¿No se dio cuenta? Entonces, ahora.
No sé, weón, pasé corriendo cagando. Pasé corriendo cagando.
¿Traemos la camilla?
Sí. No, tranquilo. No te
Una
muevas.
camilla en el hangar, una camilla de emergencia. Lo vamos a amarrar a la camilla y lo vamos a llevar.
No, porque hay que sacarlo aquí. Y para moverlo quiero inmovilizarlo.
La camilla o cortar los alambres al toque.
Tranquilo, perro.
¿Tenía alicate?
Chocaste con el Nico. Chocaron.
¿Trae el alicate allá?
No sé, weón.
¿El Nico que le pasó?
Nada. Está bien también.
¿Aló? Sí. Oye, va José Luis, ten la camilla preparada. Y un alicate va a cortar el alambre de púa.
¿El Nico cómo está?
Están bien. Es que no tiene un zorrazo en la cara, pero está bien. ¿Ya? Ya, chao.
Pero no te mueves. Tranquilo. Bota para el lado.
El pite sabe todo.
Afirmalo atrás.
Nico, ¿lo viste? Nico está bien. Ahí. Ahora échate para atrás. Échate para que te apoyen en el sostén. Santiago.
Yo iría a Melipilla.
¿Ah? No,
Iría.
Santiago.
Hospital del Trabajador.
No.
Hospital del Trabajador en Santiago.
Ah, sí, pero Santiago, sí. Pero fuera de Melipilla no. ¿Qué pasó, güey? ¿Por qué se enganchó?
No te preocupes. Ya pasó ya.
Después, güey. Después vamos a ver los videos.
¿Quieres algo?
No, Nico está bien. Nico está bien.
Respira, tranquilo. Querido, tranquilo, estamos bien. Está atado la raja. Con la mandíbula.
Quédate, no olí. Respira hondo y relájate. ¿Vale?
¿A quién querés de tu casa que la hicimos?
Papá. ¿Qué teléfono de memoria? ¡Ya!
Again, I had a very nice video. Some points, of course, we can also learn from these mistakes. Everybody, and yeah, no trees while landing. Yeah, that is good. Yeah, communication is key. Talk to each other, with other skydivers around, of course. What is your plan? What are you doing? Yeah, what is your plan when you are opening your canopy? All this. Also with the pilot. Know your own limits. Don't be persuaded to make reckless jumps or to jump if you don't feel well. Simply say, no, I don't want to go skydiving today because I drank too much beer yesterday. No. Okay, and the last point, you must be physically and mentally fit. Yeah, you can do that, yes. What I learned yesterday is that obviously I'm one of the most accident-prone people because I weigh over 70 kilos. My BMI is okay. I'm over 40 and I'm a female. So I should stop skydiving, I think. Okay. I'm not going to stop. But this is what I learned from that. Okay, and this is something two of my co-workers always said to me. They are both riggers, technicians, Regina and Jupp. Learn from the mistakes of others. You cannot live long enough to make them all yourself. And that's true. Yeah. Because all the mistakes that have been made and are still being made in general in the skydiving lead to the fact that each individual can develop further, lead to the fact that all the companies involved can draw conclusions from this and also develop further. And without a Cypres, I think many people would probably simply died without knowing why. And if you have a Cypres fire because you did a really stupid mistake, then, yeah, I think then you just have to expose yourself to the malice of the skydiving community. It's like that. And then be ashamed. Everything is better than having died or stopped skydiving. This is what I think. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for listening. And sorry that it was not a perfect presentation. Oh! Dziękuję. You know what the dziękuję is. Danke. Thank you. Thank you. It's danke in Polish. Yeah. I had the same presentation in Warsaw, in Poland. And I had this as an backup on my stick and didn't change it to thank you. I'm sorry. Good. Any questions from you? Over there?
Hello. How come you don't reinforce the cutter cable like you do with the control unit cable?
I didn't understand that.
So on the unit, why is the cutter cable not reinforced with a lining like the other one is?
With the lining?
So on the actual unit, from the little box to the cutter, the cable is quite thin and only has a bit of plastic on. It's not got solid reinforcement on it, which makes it more prone to damage, surely.
When it's because of the grommets of the, or what are you talking about? Maybe, can anybody explain this to me?
Warum ist die Kabel zu Cutter so klein and this so groß wie die Computer?
I do not know, actually.
Verstehst du?
Yeah. I do understand. Do you see any problems with that?
When it
Because it's,
when it kinks, it can break the.
yeah.
So it does not.
I will find out for you.
That's
Okay.
good question.
Yeah, I understand. But actually, I do not know why it's different from both of them. I'm sorry, but I will find out. If you give me an email, I will send a proper answer to it to you. Okay? Thank you. Any more questions?
I have actually two questions. The first one will be more on a lighter note. Cypres or Vigil? Why would we choose Cypres over Vigil?
Um, Actually, I do not like answering questions like this. Because, of course, Vigil is a competitor of us. But we are both in the skydiving community, and I don't blame Vigil for anything, and I do not want to blame that they blame me for anything. So there are reasons why you should use Cypres, of course, and I will tell you that, but not here.
All right, yeah, makes perfect sense. Thank you. And the other question is Cypres as company informed about every case of Cypres fire? I mean, like, do you have like a very sort of like comprehensive understanding of?
No. As I said, there are a lot of people who are ashamed that they had a Cypres fire because there are stupid mistakes, and they don't want to see their cases in an official way. So they buy a cutter from somewhere and saying, yeah, I had a Cypres fire or a Vigil fire.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody, of course.
So the knowledge of Cypres about the situations when there was a Cypres fire is coming from like official reports from aviation authorities of different countries, or is it like mostly skydivers reporting that to Cypres?
Mostly skydivers reporting this.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hello. I understand that since 2018, you no longer need to send Cypres back every 4 years for maintenance. What has actually changed? I mean, what is the difference that? Because I understand some riggers, at least in this country, they still advise to send it for maintenance.
Yeah, there are more than one. There's more than one reason for changing this. At first, we changed the capacity of the batteries, so they can be used longer. So and the service is not mandatory. It's not mandatory anymore, and it changed from 4 years to 5 years. And this is what? And experience. Yeah, our experience of 30 years, and all the Cypres which are coming back to us, we see, okay, this unit could have been used 1 year, 2 years, 3 years longer. But we checked it, we give them the software update. Don't change the battery every time, only if it's necessary. So it's the experience we have from the years before. We can say you can use it longer, and you do not need to send it for service if you don't want to. But it's good to send them, because you will get all the new features which we have will be installed in every unit which comes over for service. Yeah.
But otherwise, you could keep it for the whole duration, 12 years, 12 and a half years, without maintenance.
Yeah, you could. For units built from 2017.
2017.
Yeah, you do not need to send them anymore.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Hi, Ash.
Hi, Carmen. Just to very quickly actually add on from what you've actually just said, if you don't mind me sharing this, Carmen, actually a lot of the information and the intelligence that's actually been gathered has been from units which have been sent in to be serviced, which like helps with the R&D and what have you. If you send Carmen an email, she will send you a very thorough explanation which will elaborate on that. But I have a question. So you had the launch of Cypres 1 back in the 90s, and then the Cypres 2 took over. What's next? Or is there anything in the pipeline that you can tell us?
Yeah, of course, there are some things in the pipeline I'm not allowed to talk about, of course. But if you come over to us, to our booth, I can show you one, but it's more military. So it's not for everybody, and also not interesting for everybody, but it's a military unit. It's called the ECC, and it's in use already. Yeah. If you're interested in this, I will give you all the information you want.
Thank you.
You're welcome. question? No questions? Okay. My next birthday party. I'm 45 this year, and I'm planning to have a birthday party when I get 50. So in 5 years. Will you be there? Good, good. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.